Sherry. Just the name makes you think of sunny vineyards and the amazing smells of this special wine. From the Andalusian part of Spain, sherry is more than just a drink. It's like a taste of history, a special tradition, and a work of art by the people who make it. Unlike any other wine, sherry is made in a special way called the solera system. This makes lots of different kinds of sherry, from super dry to very sweet. Let's explore the cool world of sherry, learning about its history, how it's made, and what makes it so special. Sherry is a wine that people sometimes forget about, or maybe they don't understand it. But those who know about it, those who love how many ways you can enjoy it and how interesting it is, they know it's one of the best wines in the world. From the crisp, dry Manzanilla, great before dinner, to the rich, sweet Pedro Ximénez, perfect with dessert, there's a sherry for everyone. Our journey starts in the vineyards of Jerez, a place with lots of sun and a nice sea breeze. Here under the Spanish sun, special grapes grow, ready to become this amazing wine. Sherry takes time and patience, made with traditions passed down for many years. Its story is as interesting as its taste, and it's time to discover its secrets. Sherry's history is as interesting as the wine itself. It goes way back to ancient times. The Phoenicians, great sailors and traders, were some of the first to grow grapes in Jerez around 1100 BC. They knew this sunny place was perfect for making wine. The Romans also loved the wines from this area, planting more vineyards and making trade routes to share the wine with everyone. Then came the Moors, who ruled Andalusia for a long time. They brought their culture and new ways of farming. Even though their religion didn't allow them to drink alcohol, the Moors knew wine was important. They kept growing grapes, mostly for raisins, and a sweet wine called xerefth, which is where the name sherry comes from. You can still see the Moors' influence on sherry today in the buildings and some of the words used in winemaking. When the Christians took back the region in the 13th century, sherry kept getting more popular. When explorers discovered America in the 15th century, new places to sell sherry opened up. Explorers like Christopher Columbus and Ferdinand Magellan took sherry with them on their ships, introducing it to the Americas. Sir Francis Drake, a famous English sailor, even took some sherry during a raid on Cádiz in 1587, bringing it back to England and making it even more famous. One of the coolest things about sherry is how it's made, using the solera system. Unlike most wines, which age in barrels for a while before bottling, sherry is made by mixing different wines together in a special way. The solera system is like a dance of barrels stacked on top of each other. Imagine a pyramid of barrels. The bottom level, the oldest and best, is the solera. Every year, only some of the wine from the solera is bottled. Then, they add wine from the barrels above, the first criadera, to fill it back up. The first criadera is filled with wine from the second criadera, and so on, with new wine going in at the top. This mixing makes sure every bottle of sherry has a little bit of very old wine, giving it a special taste that sherry is known for. The solera system is more than just a way of aging wine. It's like a connection to the past and the traditions that have been passed down. Every bottle of sherry is a mix of different years, some from decades ago, making it like a liquid history book. Section 4. Many tastes, discovering different sherries. Sherry isn't just one kind of wine. There are many different types, from super dry to very sweet. Each type has its own special qualities, depending on the grapes, how it's made, and of course, the solera system. Trying different sherries is like an adventure for your taste buds. Let's start with fino, the driest and lightest kind. Fino sherry ages under a layer of yeast called flor, which gives it a nutty, almond-like flavor. Manzanilla, a type of fino made near the coast, has a salty taste from the sea. Amontillado, aged first under flor and then exposed to air, is a mix of dry and richer styles, with nutty notes and hints of caramel and spice. Oloroso, aged without flor, is darker and tastes like dried fruits, walnuts, and toffee. Cream sherries, mixed with sweeter types, are smooth and perfect if you like a little sweetness. Finally, there's Pedro Ximénez, or PX, made from sun-dried grapes, a super sweet and syrupy wine that tastes like raisins, figs, and molasses. Section 5. Sunny grapes, Palomino, Pedro Ximénez, and Moscatel. The special land of Jerez, along with certain grapes, makes sherry what it is. While there are a few different grapes used, three are the most important: Palomino, Pedro Ximénez, and Moscatel. Each grape adds its own flavor, making all the different kinds of sherry. Palomino is the most used grape for sherry. It grows well in the hot, dry weather of Jerez. It makes wines that are not too strong, perfect for the solera system and developing interesting flavors as it ages. Palomino is the main grape in many sherry styles, from the dry finos to the rich olorosos. Pedro Ximénez, or PX, makes the sweetest sherries. These grapes are dried in the sun to make them super sweet, like raisins and honey. PX sherries are amazing with dessert. Moscatel, a very fragrant grape, also makes some sweet sherries. It adds floral and citrus flavors, making the sherry even more interesting. While not used as much as Palomino or PX, Moscatel adds another special touch to sherry. Section 6. Jerez and the Sherry Triangle. History in every bottle. Sherry comes from the Sherry Triangle in southwestern Spain, with the towns of Jerez de la Frontera, el Puerto de Santa María, and Sanlúcar de Barrameda. This triangle, with lots of sun and cool breezes from the Atlantic, has a special climate that's perfect for sherry. The albariza soil, a white chalky soil only found here, is also important for making sherry. It helps keep the ground wet, which is important in the hot weather. Jerez de la Frontera, the biggest of the three towns, gives its name to this special wine. The city's history is all about sherry, and its streets are full of bodegas, the traditional sherry wineries. Here, sherry is more than just a drink. It's a way of life. El Puerto de Santa María, near the river, is known for its light and elegant finos. The nearby sea gives the wines a slightly salty taste, making them very refreshing. Sanlúcar de Barrameda, on the coast, is where Manzanilla comes from. The sea breezes and special climate of this town give the wine a salty flavor, making it a true taste of the area. Sherry is more than just a special wine. It's a result of old traditions, a celebration of the land, and the skill of many generations of winemakers. So, next time you want a wine with a story, a wine that's full of history and interesting flavors, try a bottle of sherry. You won't be sorry.